This is Johnny Wrestling, or Johnny Takeover, as my shirt says. And listen, I want you to listen. Like, we're involved right now. It's crazy, it's loud, it's hectic. We're in New York City, but I want you to listen to the No Holds Barred Network.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 6 of the All Elite podcast, right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all WWE, NXT, NXT UK, and now some retro content from the WWE, and of course, your source for all Elite Pro Wrestling news and rumors. Guys, welcome to, again, episode number 6. You're going to have to bear with me this episode. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather coming back from Phoenix, which we'll go over in a bit. But you can follow the podcast, guys. Make sure you go follow. It's right there on the screen if you're watching us on YouTube, at Elite Pod on Twitter. We also have a Facebook page. That link is also down in the description below for you guys to go check out if you guys want to go like us on Facebook. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/NHBWR, and hit the subscribe button with the little bell beside it to let you know when we are going live every single time we do. We don't have a set schedule. We're just going to show up randomly, just like the Young Bucks. We'll be popping in out of nowhere with these podcasts, and we'll go on from there. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, Spreaker, or Stitcher Radio, thank you for listening. And I do have an update. Very, very soon, the network will be on Spotify. So if you are a Spotify user, I figured out how to get on Spotify. We'll be going to jump onto Spotify very soon. So I'll keep you up to date with that. So make sure you do follow the network as well on Twitter at NHB Network for all updates with networks and all their shows that we provide here on the network as well. I'm your host, as always, the self-proclaimed sick host, as you can tell my voice, and the CEO of the No Holds Barred Network, Kyle Masters, and I'm joined by the beautiful Tiffany at Loves to Dream. I already forgot the last
82.
82. Sorry. Anyways, all links are down in the description below, guys. I'm not with it today. I'm gonna try my best for you guys. But yeah. Guys, welcome to number 6, cleverly titled The Lunatic Fringe. We got some news with Dean Ambrose, and obviously that's the big topic with him this week, especially in the WWE, with him not re-signing with the WWE. And now, as soon as that happens, you know, all the talks for AEW start right away. So we got some news around that, and we also have some other news surrounding AEW coming up as well with future stars they're looking at and such. Excuse me for a sec. Yeah, I'm getting a cold. That's because I went through a drastic temperature change from Phoenix to here in the East Coast. And, oh, my God, like, I went from, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, I can't do conversion. But if you guys want to out there, Google it. 25 degrees Celsius. Just pretty warm. It's like, I think it's in the 70s for Fahrenheit, 60s. I went from that to whatever negative degree weather we're in now. Like, it really hit me like a brick wall, and it's cold. You're right. It's cold.
It's cold. I mean, the wind chill here is negative 11. Like, ooh, I can't.
I can't. I can't.
I think I would say it's like minus 30 by him, so in Fahrenheit. So, no.
So it's definitely affected me. I think I've been more sick this year than I ever have been this winter time. It's been really bad. So bear with me as I drink a sip of water right now. I'm going to be doing that all episodes, so I do apologize. If you're listening to this on the go and you hear water sounds at random times, that is me trying to stay hydrated so my voice doesn't leave you guys. But I took some drugs, you know, not that kind of drugs, but, you know, good drugs, and to get myself all lived up for this episode. So we've got a lot of news, and we've been away for a while. Obviously, as you know, I was away at the Royal Rumble this past weekend. Very, very fun time. I really enjoyed myself, regardless of the outcomes of matches and obviously people's opinions on the creative directions. It was such a good time. Being in an environment like that with the wrestling community it's just a blast. Like you just goon it up all the time, and it's fun. you're there to enjoy yourself. I certainly did at both TakeOver and the Royal Rumble, and experiencing the city of Phoenix. It was really good. So I'll have more of that into our next podcast, which is our WWE and NXT podcast, which is tomorrow night. So I'll talk more about that then. This is All Elite. We focus and try to mainly focus on All Elite Pro Wrestling and the future. It's coming, and Double or Nothing is very soon. But before we get anywhere, before we always have to do these. Ladies and gentlemen, please go check out our sponsors, and that number one is the Collar and Elbow Wrestling brand. They have a fantastic line of clothing there. You got Kevin Nash there, Eugene, Jake the Snake, and I think we found out who the girl is.
We did. We found out. Her name is Rebel.
Rebel. That's it.
Yes.
It sounds familiar. For me, I'm not too familiar. I have to familiarize myself with that. But she is on the far right there supporting the Collar and Elbow Wrestling Man in a very sexy pose on that bed. But guess what, guys? Thanks to our friend Jimmy and loyal fan of the podcast, he is giving us his code to use. Code JUMBO on checkout. You'll save 10% on your orders. Go check out Collar and Elbow Wrestling brand. And go order some stuff from them, man. Save 10%. You got to save yourself some money. So other than that, we have Pro Wrestling Tees. They are your direct source for all Elite merchandise. They got fantastic T-shirts from the Young Bucks to the sweaters, which me and Tiff love the hoodies.
Yes, I bought the zip up.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered it. So
all
you
right.
guys see in the near future that I will be wearing it for the podcast. So.
And I will be ordering my Jericho T-shirt very soon. I'm probably going to order a snapback with it. And you can support Bernard the Business Bear. He's also got a T-shirt on there, who was a special guest on episode number 3 of the All Elite podcast. We had a very extensive interview with Bernard the Bear. If you guys want to go check that out, it's live on the channel. He also has a T-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees that you guys can buy. So go check out ProWrestlingTees.com, your number one source for the All Elite merchandise. You know, I can't really forget about these guys. ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. They are the official sponsor of the No Holds Barred Network. Guys, they specialize in pro wrestling and MMA apparel with over 50,000 T-shirts, sweatshirts, costumes, DVDs, and pendants in stock. And guess what? You're going to use promo code NOHOLDS at checkout, and you're going to save 10% on this website as well. And then one lucky fan per month that uses this code will receive a free gift from ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com along with their order. So go check out ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com, guys, the official sponsor of the No Holds Barred Network. So sponsor plugs out of the way. That took a lot out of me. Just saying.
A lot of good stuff, guys.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. So buy some stuff.
Anyways, let's just jump over to live chat just to give some quick shout-outs before we continue. We got Brandilyn. Looks like she'll be right back. We have the Secret Detective, a.k.a. Cupid Girl, in there. What is going on? We also have AEW Fandom, who became a recent fan of us on Twitter. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in to the live show. And let's jump into it, Tiff. I mean, we've been away for... I think our last episode was before I went to Phoenix.
Yeah, we wanted to do another episode, but we just didn't have time to do it. So there's a lot of stuff that we can cover. Stuff that some stuff you guys probably know, and you've probably seen it all over Twitter and stuff like that. But
that's why you're here. You're here to hear our opinions on this this shiznat. I don't know what word else to use for that.
Where do you want to start, Kyle? Because I don't know.
I mean, if you got one thing, we'll start off with you. We'll start off, ladies first. I'm for this Me Too movement thing.
Okay, all right. So let's start with the Dolph Ziggler stuff, okay?
Oh, man.
Dolph Ziggler turned down Dolph Ziggler.
You said Zigger. I don't know who a Zigger is.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, though. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
Right. So Dolph Ziggler, okay, he turned down his WWE contract.
Ooh,
So,
red flags.
What does that mean? We talked about this in the past episode. So, I said, I think the last episode, that he was going to focus on his comedy tour.
Which I did see while I was in Phoenix. I did go see his comedy tour. It was freaking hilarious. You guys can see a little bit of footage. We weren't allowed to record or photo in that comedy act, so I was able to get a quick shot right at the end, right before they were wrapping up. And it was Ziggler. They had Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, Ty Dillinger, which I wish I knew because I would have bought a meet and greet. this famous
meet greets there.
yeah, this comedian girl that's from the Comedy Central, that show At Midnight. She was there, and then this comedic podcast guy, and this other guy I've never heard of. He's got a book or something. Some person in the crowd knew he had a book. I've never heard of him before, but whatever. He was there, and then Nia Jax just showed up like right near the end, like out of nowhere.
She take everybody out.
Well, she it was funny because she showed up right before the question period, so like people were gonna ask her about that, and they joked around about Dolph kicking her and all that stuff, but. It was very, very a mature comedy show. If you guys have it near you, I highly suggest you go watch it. It was freaking hilarious. It's all like they talk about wrestling, they talk about their lives, and it's really cool. Especially his friends he brings along. It's the wrestlers, obviously. Like it was Ty Dillinger and Tyler Breeze. They did a little skit, and then Kurt Hawkins and Zychar did a skit because of their wrestling figure podcast, and they promoted that shit out of that. They were throwing out wrestling figures all around the crowd.
Wow.
It was such a good time. So
did you walk away with anything?
No. Back on track. I was sitting way at the back. That sucks. Back on track though. Yeah, Ziggler's he rejected his renewal contract. Apparently, the word is that he wants to focus more on his comedic side and his comedy acts. But that with Dolph Ziggler, the guy has been wrestling forever. The love of pro wrestling is never going to leave him. So that's obviously shooting up red flags for All Elite. I'm sure All Elite is looking at him very carefully.
He did say he would be the big sign. That he'd be even bigger than Chris. Oh my God, bigger than Jericho. So, could there be a possibility that he will side with AEW?
I imagine they're looking at him like very closely, because you look at AEW in a whole, right? They're gonna need to have people to start up with that are gonna draw people's attention. You can go out and sign, like we said, what's his name from our last episode? Your boy there. You're going to see him in New York soon.
Jungle Boy?
Yeah, Jungle Boy. Like, you can sign guys like that are known, a little bit more known in the indies rather than WWE, but you're going to need people that have been in WWE, Lucha Underground, Impact, that are well-known there to get people's attention and to grow your brand. You're going to need those people. Regardless of how many people you want to push in the indies that never would get a push in WWE, you're going to need those people. So Dolph Ziggler, I'm sure, is a guy that they're looking at with close eyes, and I'm sure they're going to be in constant contact with him. And who knows, man? Like, if he's not going to re-sign his WWE contract, which do you have when it's due? I think it's soon, is it not?
Today.
It's today. Okay, so his contract's over today. So he'll probably be doing his comedy shows, his actual dates that he has promised for the next couple of months. What does that lead to? Double or nothing. There's a chance he might be there. There's a chance he might not be there. But then you got to think of it from the outside as well. AEW is probably going to be announcing another pay-per-view, probably even closer or after Double or Nothing within this year. Dolph Ziggler could appear at that, or if they get their television deal underway and it's sooner than expected, maybe he appears in the first episode of they copyrighted a name. It was like Tuesday Night Dynamite or something like that. I really hope. I mean, it's all right. It's kind of corny, but maybe they'll have a better name. But maybe he'll appear on that first episode. But Dolph Ziggler, I'm sure, will be a close eye on AEW for sure. And I wouldn't doubt if he ends up signing with that company, because I mean, he's done everything he's done in WWE. He's become world champion twice, like he mentioned this in his comedy act, which is something I want to point out, which I'll bring to you guys because it's kind of like insider information a little bit. So when we were at the Dolph Ziggler comedy act and we got to the question period, every one of them derailed any AEW questions. Any AEW they didn't answer. They derailed it or comedically derailed it. So, and
Keep said Kenny's contract is up today too. He's free.
And the press conference is coming up, so I bet you Kenny will be there. I bet you Kenny will be at that press conference. They're going to try to do these press conferences like they just did the last one. There's got to be some big names there to promote it and do a good job with promoting that upcoming pay-per-view. I guarantee you, I'm calling it right now, Kenny Omega is going to be at the Double or Nothing press conference. I'm calling it right now.
Well, I mean, if you watch the Being the Elite episode, the latest one, I don't know if you got a chance to watch it, but they kind of like tease that Matt
the
was on
timer.
phone
Yeah.
and he was like, I can't believe everybody thought you were going to show up at the Rumble. And then they hang up and then the phone turns over and then you see the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what they did with New Year's Day as
Yep.
well.
It's going to
So,
happen.
But it's true because actually me and Cupid Girl were DMing about this. We're like, do we know if it's really Kenny Omega though? They want you to think it's Kenny Omega. Is it Kenny Omega?
Maybe your boy Marty Scurll.
No, because he's under contract till the end of April.
Well,
so, and
I think it's going to be Kenny Omega because if he was going to sign with the WWE, I think Vince would have wanted him in that Rumble in some way, whether it would have been an appearance, something backstage, something that maybe would have gone through a loophole in his current contract that expires today that allowed him to appear. Because from what I understanding is WWE's relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling is good. It's not bad. They let WWE mention IWGP all the time when they're talking about their some wrestlers' past championships in their career. So I don't imagine that their relationship with New Japan is bad. So I imagine if he was going to be with WWE, he would have signed a contract saying that, okay, as of February 1st, you're with us. There's a little loophole that you can appear in some way at the Royal Rumble, and then that's going to, start your road to WrestleMania for your WrestleMania match. Or he would have stayed, or would have appeared on the Raw after. The fact that he hasn't done any of that, he's not with the WWE.
Well, I don't know about that because, if the contract ends today, so really, as of tomorrow.
He's not. I really hope he's not with WWE.
God, I don't want him in WWE. I want him in AEW.
Get ruined.
No.
I'm sure he doesn't want to go. All his friends are with AEW. You know what I mean? Yeah, he has some dream matchups in his head. He'll probably want to wrestle with in WWE. But hey, look at it like this: a lot of people are wanting to leave the WWE. Maybe you'll end up having those dream matches that you've wanted with someone. And I know he's probably always wanted to wrestle at WrestleMania as well. But again, this also brings in the what other people are saying. Maybe he signs a one-match contract. He gets his little 4-month WWE contract out of the way, wrestles at WrestleMania. That's it. Goes to All Elite after that. But with what Vince is doing with current contracts right now and trying to prevent people from leaving and trying to say he doesn't care about AEW, clearly when he does, I highly doubt that's going to happen. So AEW is where he's coming, 100%.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I know our main topic was probably the Dean Ambrose today. I don't know if you want to wait till later to bring that up or if you want to go into it now.
Yeah, you know what? Let's start off the main event now. How about that?
Let's go.
We'll change things up. Okay, so is Dean Ambrose AEW bound? So I got a little bit of news here. Dean Ambrose is wrapping up his time with the WWE very soon. As you guys all know, the company sent out a release yesterday or the other day to address this situation head on, which is very interesting move on their part. So this is where a lot of people think this could be a work, and I can actually see that a little bit because it's weird how they would just automatically do that. You know what I mean? You look at Kenta, who's granted his release, but they haven't released a statement yet. You know what I mean? It's weird how they automatically Dean Ambrose, oh, by the way, this person is leaving after WrestleMania. Why would they announce that like that? Why wouldn't they wait till the day after WrestleMania? And now they're taking them off Raw and SmackDowns until WrestleMania. So this is interesting. So the big question remains, what will Dean Ambrose do next? So Mr. Take with a Grain of Salt, Dave Meltzer, discussed the situation on Wrestling Observer Radio, where he was made pretty apparent that the landscape of pro wrestling has changed dramatically since he signed with the company. Now there is an option with All Elite Wrestling, and Meltzer said that AEW will want him 100%. Well, duh. Before there was that fear of leaving that everyone had. If you leave, you're done. You look at a guy after... This is a quote from Meltzer, by the way. You look at guy after guy that leaves and nothing ever happened, and Cody was the guy who changed everything when he left. It's like he left and he became a bigger star. McIntyre to that degree as well. He goes on to say, it's like the fear of being gone from WWE was not much a reality, and now with AEW, it's like there's another place to go and make really good money if they want to. In this case of Dean, if he is a free agent in April, will they want him? The answer is yes. Whether Dean Ambrose signs a deal with AEW is another story. We'll have to wait and see what he does. Anything could be on Ambrose's mind because his intentions weren't 100% clear, and not a lot of people knew he was leaving WWE in the first place as well. So Yeah, this kind of was out of the blue, and I understand what people are saying because, yeah, he's been. If the rumor is true of the reason he's leaving is creative differences, well, yeah, the guy's not being pushed as if he should be pushed, and that is the fault of his one Shield brother over the last 5 years, and that's Roman, because their main focus has always been Roman when he was around. You weren't going to get anywhere that close with Roman being around. Now that he's gone, and he's been gone for months, and they haven't done anything with Ambrose, I bet you he kind of feels like, okay, well, then this is the direction I'm going to go from here. If you're not going to push me now, I don't want to be here anymore.
It's a good tactic to try to like get creative as well, that he's not going to resign. So if they like try to make him happy the next couple of months, then maybe, he'll resign. But I think I sent you something the other day, right, Kyle, that there was something talks about
just blowing my nose for a second.
The fact that the medical, that he was out for so long, that they could like freeze his contract for those many months that he was.
Yeah, that's another scummy WWE tactic right there, that they could freeze his contract. Basically what they did to Neville. So
it's like messed up. Like, yeah. I mean, like, how do you mess with people's livelihoods or whatever like that? It's just, I don't know. I said it to somebody the other day. I was like, things like this kind of like turn me off to like watch the WWE. And if it wasn't for NXT, I would get rid of the network as well. One of my friends got rid of the network because of the whole thing that happened in Saudi Arabia. So a lot of this stuff, and we'll talk about the whole thing that happened at Royal Rumble, which Kyle will talk about later. It's just like these little things, and it just doesn't make me want to like throw down my money to like go run over there. I mean, like Kyle's gonna be here WrestleMania weekend, and I don't think we're gonna go to WrestleMania. I just don't think so. It's like that should be my first WrestleMania, and I have no intentions of going, and that's sad. So. Yeah.
The great thing about it is there'll be others when they maybe when they get their shit together.
It's messed up. It's here in like New York, and I should be going to that, but whatever. A little bit more that I saw on Twitter about Dean Ambrose. Joey Ryan did a tweet the other day. If Dean Ambrose hates hokey shit, he gonna love the first indie to book him versus me. Go ahead, take my money.
Ambrose versus Joey Ryan.
Hell yeah, why not?
The Joey Ryan haters are gonna fucking hate that.
Aw, but that's going on over there. So I mean, look, I would love to go see it. Why not? Like, mark it out for it. So bring it on.
The one thing I was discussing with my one buddy was that what is he gonna be? Obviously, I think WWE owns the name Dean Ambrose. So is he gonna go back to John Moxley for his indie days? Or is he going to... We were making fun. He's going to be like Gene Dambrose, or like... It's going to be...
I call him Ambrose, but that's...
Bean Dambrose. Like, it's going to be like an off name, but closer to Dean Ambrose, but it's going to sound close. So we're just sitting there like naming off names and just losing our shit. But I'd say probably go back to John Moxley. Bring back the memories of when he was John Moxley wrestling in like ICW and just doing these, or CZW, I believe it was called, and just doing these crazy, insane, hardcore matches that he was known for before signing with the WWE. So, yeah.
Keep it going to the chat. Here's an interesting question. Since Dean is going, does that mean Renee is leaving too? It's kind of similar to when Cody left and Brandy left with him.
Probably not at first. I would compare it to CM Punk and AJ Lee. AJ Lee stuck around for a bit. I think she stuck around until the end of her contract and then left. So I'd say whatever. I don't know what Renee Young's contract's like, but she's probably going to stick around to the end of that. And then, she'd probably go from there, look and see how happy her husband is. Kind of judge to how it's been without him being in the company, and then go from there. That'd be my answer.
Jimmy said that he doesn't think that Renee is going to go either.
No, they love her as the woman commentator and pushing that woman's evolution. So she ain't going anywhere until the end of her contract. That's for sure. Yeah. So Ambrose would be obviously he'd be an insane, huge signing with AEW, and all the power to him. I wish we'd have more news about that. And it's just to me, it's weird how WWE just puts that statement out really early. Like, you sit there and you're going, is it a work? Like, it could be a work. They could be planning one of the biggest works of all time. They could even have maybe Dean Ambrose in the future tease AEW on purpose. Like how Brett did the WCW thing. They could have him probably like spell out AEW after like he loses to a jobber or something. You know what I mean? This could be a work. So let's hold off on the getting the train ready for Ambrose to come to AEW. We never know, right?
It's still soon. It's too early.
You look at CM Punk. CM Punk signed his contract literally the day of Money in the Bank. When that whole storyline was true, he literally signed it a couple days before Money in the Bank, and once Money in the Bank came, that's when they decided, okay, we're gonna go in this creative direction for you. So they went down to the last minute. I have CM Punk's DVD and he talks about it, and it literally came down to the last minute. So that could play into this. It could be for sure that he thinks he's leaving by the end of April, or was it the end of March, or whenever his contract's done?
April, yeah.
Or it could happen just like CM Punk. It could be days before the end of his contract. They restructure his deal. They redo the creative direction for him, and he stays with the company. And they try to work it to make it to be the biggest work of all time.
Well, that's why I said you still got a few months. Anything could happen. A lot of things can change in a few months.
So let's not, pull the trigger here really quick. But that's all we got for the Dean Ambrose news, guys. So, it's a potential. He could be going to AEW. He could see that it is an alternative, and maybe he sees that how big of a name Cody's made for himself in the Indies, and maybe he wants something different. So maybe he wants more creative control with his character as well. So that could be a factor as well. So you know what? I wouldn't put it past him that he's thinking AEW, but then we can't leave the fact that this could be a work by the WWE. So
right.
That is that with Dean Ambrose.
So there's some other names or whatever that are being talked about to go to AEW. There was some stuff going around about the New Day.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that.
So New Day going to AEW. Dave Meltzer also reports that the New Day always wanted to work with the Young Bucks. I can see that being like really good.
Well, I think it's because they've gained and gathered a much bigger friendship with them over this video game thing that Xavier Woods does. They've had that tournament where they faced each other in Street Fighter, which I was shocked that WWE even allowed something like that. But I guess it's Xavier Woods' channel, and I guess there's ways around that because it's not really a WWE channel. It's his own channel. So, I don't know. There's got to be some sort of loophole there that he was able to do that. But I'm sure that they've gained much more of a friendship by doing stuff with them, like collabing with them with video games, and they've probably become better friends. And maybe a New Day's like, hey, maybe we'll go over there and we'll do our thing over there. Like, we've done our thing in WWE. We've been around for years and years and years. Like, how much can we keep up this pancake crap in New Day crap into WWE if they're not going to change us or do anything different? So I wouldn't doubt if they wanted to go to AEW. I'd be all for it, but the chances of that happening now with the rumors of Vince McMahon keeping the contracts all redone and boosting them up, and especially the New Day's a big draw with the PG fans of the WWE. It's going to be really, really hard for them to leave the WWE. That's going to be very, very tough. Yeah.
I mean, Dave Meltzer said and quoted, AEW is logically going to use tag teams on top of rather than just taking up mid-level space, and creates the grass greener scenario for every WWE team, which makes the revival situation makes complete sense. WWE most popular gimmicks team. The New Day is already friends with the Young Bucks and have wanted to work with them for years. So take my money if this happens.
So yeah, that's a tactic they're taking here. Is they want to focus more on tag team wrestling because they want, again, AEW's main goal is to be the alternative to the WWE. They don't want to copy them. They want to be the alternative. If WWE is not going to focus on tag team wrestling, they're like, okay, well, we're going to focus on tag team wrestling and make it, really good for tag teams. And it's funny that happens when they announce that, because now all of a sudden WWE is like, oh, we're going to reform our tag team division. Oh, man. But that's not working because obviously they've already messed up the revival. Look what they did with the pre-show for the Rumble. They stuck Dash Wilder with Razor for whatever, because Akam's hurt, I guess. So they took one of the team members and stuck him with them. And I guess the thing with that was if Razor and Dash Wilder won, they would have won title shots for both of their respective teams. But still, for them to be the first match in a pre-show when barely anyone's in there, Just goes to show you how much they care about the tag team division. There was, what, 2 tag team matches in the pre-show. Like, give me a break. And your main focus on the main show was The Miz and Shane McMahon. Give me a break. So, anyways. So, yeah, I could see New Day, AEW potentially in the future. But, again, like I said, it's going to be very, 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 very hard for them to leave the WWE. Extremely hard.
That's going to be a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I got some news here. AEW wants Chris Jericho to wrestle 3 big names. 3 big names. Jericho brought New Japan Pro Wrestling to another level when he agreed to work a program with Kenny Omega at last year's Wrestle Kingdom. Really, really good match. Then he had amazing programs with Evil and Naito as well. Chris Jericho is allowed to continue working for New Japan Pro Wrestling as a part of the All Elite Wrestling deal. There's also 3 big names lined up to face Y2J once they can come into some sort of final agreement on their respective contracts. Jericho's contract with AEW allows him to do a New Japan and he wants to do New Japan. Guido wants him, so now it's just a question of getting contracts and signing the contracts, but there's no contract as of right now. Jericho also wants to wrestle Tanahashi and Okada. It was also noted that the 3 names he heard while in New Japan that New Japan Pro Wrestling wants Y2J to face are Tanahashi, Okada, and Suzuki. So, man, already off the bat, though, Tanahashi and Okada, for Jericho to face both those guys is very, very, very huge. That'd be an insane matchup, especially Okada. I think you can see Okada and Jericho being the better match out of all 3 of those guys. So I'd love for a Jericho and Okada to go at it. So, yeah, AEW wants them to face those 3 inside AEW. So that's, I guess, one thing that they have to work out, AEW with New Japan, where it's going to be. Like, is it going to be for their company? Is it going to be for their company? But I think AEW definitely wants at least one of the big 3 or at least 2 of the big 3 in AEW at an event. So that'd be huge. That'd be huge. I'd love to see Jericho and Okada go at it for sure. For sure.
Since you brought up Chris Jericho, there was also talks. I know me and Kyle were talking about this the other day, but your boy Brock Lesnar. I know, Kyle. I know. Chris Jericho wants a match with Brock Lesnar. So, what's gonna happen after WrestleMania?
I don't know. I mean, Chris Jericho was tweeting during the Rumble. A lot of people think he was hacked. A lot of people thought he was drunk. And I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. These are the 2 tweets that got people's pot stirred during the Royal Rumble here. First one on the left, Jericho tweets, "Hey, at WWE," he ats these people, "at WWE, at Ring of Honor, at Impact Wrestling. I love watching you push all your randoms, but just know that we are interested in maybe 6 to 8 of your talent total. We don't need you." And then he tweets, "Intimidation and fear goes a long way in our business, guys. But let's be honest, Brock Lesnar," and he asks Brock Lesnar, "needs to pull up his pants and lose the gut. The dream is over, dude. I don't play by the script."
Ooh.
Now, okay, the first tweet, damn. Okay, like, damn, that's a clear shot right there. The second tweet, Jericho, "I'm sorry, love you, dude, but you shouldn't be talking when it comes to guts." Like, I'm just saying, he and Lesnar have like the same gut. Like, literally, they're literally the same. So,
oh god,
the second tweet, all right, you know, you kind of like put yourself into that predicament, but yeah, I guess Jericho wants the beast, and that'll be interesting because I always wonder, like, and it's clearly shown. And don't argue with me, don't at me. WWE has wrestlers hold back. They held back wrestlers in WWE from doing a lot of shit. You just clearly see the difference from someone going to NXT to WWE or what they're capable of. AKA this Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles match at Royal Rumble was fucking boring as shit. Those guys are capable of doing so much more than what we got at that point, and for them to go at it like that for a WWE Championship match. So, yes, I agree. It was good, but it wasn't like, it wasn't as good as it can be. So for Jericho and Brock Lesnar to go at it in AEW, I'm curious to see how that match would be. So 2 like longtime WWE guys facing each other in the Indies. That's why I want to see that so bad, especially like 2 guys like that. I'd be just curious to see. That'd be my one curiosity, is that to see how they would go at it in an AEW, and especially an indie like that. But then on the other hand, I fucking hate Brock Lesnar. I don't want him to be anywhere near AEW.
I'm the same way.
The guy is a joke. Like, the guy literally, it's all about the money with him. I'm just saying, guys. If you want to look back at this past Raw, and I believe it, I read rumors that he lost the Universal title belt. He had no idea where he placed it. Don't believe me? I wish I had the picture here to show you guys. Go back and watch a segment on Raw this week and look at his championship belt. That was not the real one. You know how you can tell? The plates were the regular WWE plates. They weren't his. And the belt was more red than I've ever seen it before in my life. That was a replica belt. They went up to the shop in the concession stand. They took a Universal belt and put it on him and said, okay, go out there. And they zoomed in. There were points in the promo where they zoomed in on the belt. I'm like, oh my God. Like, are they doing this? Are they punishing Brock? Like, do they know that he lost the title belt? Okay, we're going to make you look stupid. We're going to keep zooming in and make people figure it out that that's not actually the Universal title belt. It wasn't. I figured out. I knew in 2 seconds. I'm like, why is the belt so red? And I look at the side plates. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not the real belt. So, you know what? The guy doesn't give a shit. Guy gives two. I mean, there's rumors that he does and he wants to work with certain people, but he doesn't care. The fact that he's still the champion is a joke, complete joke. So,
it is a joke.
If I just don't want him to come to AEW. I don't care. Just go back to your farm in Saskatchewan, wherever the fuck it is. Stay over there. If you want to sign a 1-match contract and face Jericho, fine, whatever. Don't sign. I don't want him to sign anything long term with AEW.
It's a joke. It is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's my little rant.
It's okay. Take a breath.
Take a sip of water there.
Cupid Girl said Jay White versus Jericho. I would love to see that. Little Ring of Honor action going on. I love it. I love it. Take my money.
I mean, even though they're both heels, like Jericho can be a tweener. Jericho's more of a tweener. Jericho can be a baby face just like that.
I don't mind seeing heel versus heel.
No. That's something. I think that's something AEW is gonna want, are gonna do, because they want to be the alternative. So they're gonna do a lot of shit like that, and they're giving the wrestlers their own creative freedom to do what they want. That's the most important thing. So I love to see it.
The match, like I want to see good wrestling. Like ever since I started watching New Japan, I'm like, this is good. Same thing with even indie stuff. Oh God. Cappy, no, you did not just type that in the chat. Sin Cara to AEW to make it credible. Oh my Lord. But yeah, I watch New Japan, and I don't follow it strictly. I've been going to one of my friend's house, and he's been showing me all this stuff. And even though I didn't know so much, it's just I get so invested in the match. It's such storytelling, and it's not about heel versus face. It's just who's the better. So I don't mind heel versus heel. Let's go, Yes. Switchblade, Cupid Girl. A fandom says AEW, no faces, no heels, just real personalities with real motivation. Absolutely. I agree. So,
So, I got a little bit of something to talk about here. And it ties into this news I have here. According to Report Now, WWE is apparently not, quote unquote, apparently not pulling AEW merch anymore off fans. And it's funny I say that because I have a video for you guys to watch. This happened at the Rumble, and it's funny because I tweeted Tiff. I'm pretty sure I messaged you, Tiff, that I said I just saw a guy with an AEW whatever, and I'm pretty sure this was him in this video because I saw him going to ringside. And so so this is what happens. This is the altercation. I'm going to show you guys in the video. If you guys are listening, you can definitely listen. The commentary from the people videotaping will definitely tell you what's going on. So this is what happened at the Royal Rumble with a fan wearing a AEW shirt. If you guys are watching on YouTube, here's the clip.
Would they have anything against that? No. There's tons of Bullet Club shirts all over the place. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Don't worry, his buddy, I'm sure he's going to get after it. Oh, he is. Oh, my God, they're treating him so terrible. It is bullshit.
So what did he just do? Taking it off. So, but he already had a shirt on underneath that?
The guy, the kid paid.
So, an AEW fan was made to take off his AEW shirt at the Royal Rumble because he was sat in the corner where the TV would break, basically where the TV camera would see him wearing it, and they didn't want to advertise it. And I said it before. I get that WWE doesn't want to cross-promote other things that they don't want to cross-promote. My one big thing is, and they said it in the video, they don't ever tell you to take off your Bullet shirt merch at all. Like, at all. If you're wearing Bullet Club shirt anywhere in WWE, they don't care. Why should they care for AEW, like a simple AEW shirt? It doesn't make any sense. The Bullet Club are not with the WWE. You can wear a Kenny Omega shirt, you can wear a Young Bucks shirt, but you can't wear an AEW shirt? That makes literally zero sense to me. Like, that's stupid. So, in saying that, going back to the article I have, apparently they're not pulling any more AEW merch anymore. WWE has some competition on the way. Well, we'll see about that with All Elite Wrestling. And they have been seen taking the shirts off of fans at live events, and now with the viral video you guys just seen at the Royal Rumble. It seems like WWE is getting lax on their rules about AEW merchandise, or simply missed one, because one brave fan who was sitting at ringside on SmackDown this week, I'm sure you guys spotted it if you're watching, he was seen spotting an AEW logo t-shirt clear as day. This is the same shirt that the other fan that got made was made to take off on Sunday. Fans wearing AEW merch were told that they weren't allowed into the building in Jacksonville after AEW's first rally, where Jericho was the main attraction. WWE later changed their minds and then started denying it. Denying that it even happened, and that there was, even though there was video to show that they are wrong. Fans were told during the Royal Rumble access to hide all their All Elite Wrestling hats by tipping up the bill of their hats. We will have to wait and see if this becomes a trend. As you can clearly see, at least this fan made it into SmackDown Live with his AEW merch, and he was literally shown at ringside almost all show with his AEW shirt. Wow, I can't believe they were made. Literally, you're made to tip your hat up so that what? What? Give me a break.
I'll tip your hat up, okay? All right.
That's more of a joke than when last year at WrestleMania Access I was made to check in my selfie stick.
Oh God.
I was allowed to bring my camera in. I was not allowed to bring my selfie stick. I had to check that.
You told me that.
And then this Rumble Access, it almost happened again. So they looked at it during security, and the one girl, and she's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "It's a selfie stick for my GoPro." And then she's like, "I didn't see it." And she let me walk in.
That's disgusting.
Saying it's a weapon. And then I'm sitting there going, okay, so if they think a selfie stick's a weapon, I could probably grab a replica championship belt that I'm allowed to bring in and pretty much knock someone the fuck out with that thing. I'm just saying.
Damn. Nick from the Young Bucks tweeted saying that any fan can wear any AEW merch or WWE merch to any of their stuff. They don't care. And Matt retweeted it as well.
Yes. Okay. So I have that tweet here. Okay. So he saw the video get posted, and I'll put up on the screen for you guys. Let it be known that if you want to wear a WWE shirt at Double or Nothing or any AEW related event, we won't do this to you. And this is the quote underneath the video. So they basically saying that you're allowed to wear any WWE shirts to any of their events. They don't care. This is what WWE should do. And it's eventually probably going to become that way. But the fact that they're doing that is a real joke. And just they're basically showing the fans and people out there that they are scared of AEW. They do not want this thing to get off the ground, or else if they didn't care and they thought less of it and think, okay, that's not going to beat us, we won't be competition, they wouldn't give a fuck. They would not care. But the fact that they made that fan, and my buddy had made a good point. He's like, what if he didn't have a shirt underneath?
Yeah. Are you going to give the fan?
Hey, when I show my nipples all show just for you guys?
This isn't New Orleans. No beads, man. No beads.
God. I'm just like... sitting there going
what
literally.
What is a chick? What is me? Am I supposed to walk around in my fucking bra? What?
I still think the funniest thing is that they made everyone tip their hats up at the access. What does that do? You can still see it. They're just gonna tip it up, walk by, okay, put it back down. So dumb. So dumb. Just leave it alone, WWE. If you want to show you ain't scared, don't do anything. Don't do anything.
You're just bringing more heat to the table. This is the stuff we're talking about. Mm-hmm. We're talking about it. So
we are talking about it.
Craig wants to know if he can still fight Bernard the Bear.
Hey, I mean, guys got to get in contact with Cody Rhodes, man. Get a double or nothing match going, you know? You guys might make the pre-show.
Yes.
Anyways, I do want to bring up a couple of things where we get going. One is one thing you sent me. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll describe for you guys listening to us on the go. It was an Instagram story by Marty Skrull, and you see him there, lonely there in like some sort of graveyard, and it says, "All my friends are dead." And if you closely look at the tombstones, those are all the Elite T-shirts. You got the Young Bucks on the left. You got Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. I believe that's Kenny Omega's over on the right. I can't really see closely.
Yes, the cleaner. Come on, Kyle.
Yes, I can't see. The picture is really crappy here. It's really... And I believe Cody's on that right side as well. Yeah.
Cody is the dog.
Again, we said this before. We think it might be a work. Could be a work.
It's so work.
And
his girl is on the work train because somebody tweeted and asked if who's Winston's favorite tag team, and she said that that Winston's favorite tag team is dead. I was like, oh damn, the salt. I was like, the shade that's going on. Yes, all these shirts are on Hot Topic now. I know that they were tweeting it. I haven't got a chance to go into Hot Topic to go see, but all those shirts that Kyle was just showing is now at Hot Topic.
What's weird to me is that they haven't mentioned it on being the Elite. They haven't mentioned any of his shade.
Not yet. I think it's gonna come. I
think so?
I think it's gonna come. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a work. Definitely. Yeah,
Mark
just said it's a work. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm about like 99% sure this is all freaking work. Like it's just amazing. His contract ends at the end of April, and he's probably gonna show up at Double or Nothing. Come on now.
I hope so. Also, you sent me a couple of these, so a couple of AEW signings there. Jungle Boy going to the ICW Party and Bullshit event.
These shows are always in Queens. These are the shows that these are the indie shows that I've been going to now. So actually, the guy I'm actually gonna take Kyle there when he's here in April. The guy runs a store called The Wrestling Universe. Jack, he's absolutely amazing. So yeah, he puts on these shows. I went. The last one was in December. I was there. He always gets like big names, and Jungle Boy was there the last time. I should have took a picture with him. That's okay.
Shut up. But he's going to be there next time.
Okay. I'm going in a couple of weeks.
We got Maria Manic and Penelope. I can't say the name. Penelope Ford going at it. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit illiterate.
Okay. I'm saying it right now on the podcast, okay? I already told Kyle this. I already got Johnny Gargano. All right, I'm going to work it. I'm going to try very hard to get them to promote No Holds Barred, okay? I'm saying it right now on the podcast, all right?
Or Jungle Boy to do All Elite.
Yes. They're both on All Elite. So
we'll Penelope, if not, just at least meet them. Get a picture. If not, just get a picture with them so we can promote on the just to show you guys on the show here.
Absolutely. So I'm going to work on that. So my question, okay? And Jack knows everybody. Jack got Marty Skrull. That was one of the picks that I took that I met Marty. Are the Young Bucks going to show up?
Oh yeah, because they're showing up everywhere.
Everybody's going all over the place. So they're all working indie shows. So I'm wondering if this is going to happen. I know Joey Ryan's having a show in New Jersey next month. I want to go to that. Is the Young Bucks going to show up? Or one of them, is Cody going to show up? So that's like my theory. I don't know. It's just a thought and a theory that I'm thinking that's going to happen. So we'll see in the near future. But yes, if you guys live in the New York area and if you're going to be in Queens, February 15th, please. It's worth it. I have so much fun at all these indie shows. So did they steal the Grand Theft Auto font?
Yeah, it is the Vice City font. It looks like it. I'm not sure if it's exact, but they got the font pretty good. So yes, corporate copy. I think they did steal the GTA font. Just saying. There's a question from Datila on Twitter I'm gonna bring up. It's not AEW related, but it's something that I wish I had known while I was in Arizona. But she's like, the question is for Kyle. Did you know Eddie Guerrero is buried in Green Acres Mortuary and Cemetery in Arizona? If so, did you go visit his grave? I know Mysterio did, and he posted that picture on Instagram. I did not, because I didn't know that was there. I should have did my research, because I actually would have gone and visited it if it was close enough. But unfortunately, I didn't have a car. We kind of took the hell's it called, that train in the middle of the road the whole time. So if it was farther than Phoenix, then probably couldn't have gone and seen it. But if it was close enough, I probably would have if I'd known. So, but to answer your question, no, I did not, unfortunately. Anyways, I got something here, Tiff. I wonder if you have the same of it.
Okay.
I have AEW's closest signing for big indie names.
Go for it.
So we've previously reported that Chuck Taylor and Beretta were very likely going to All Elite Pro Wrestling. Dave Meltzer said later on during the Observer Radio that there's a couple other bright stars that are likely to be included in the next signing, the big crop bunch signing. He was working with MLW, and MLW had basically made a statement that they're not using him anymore. He had agreed to dates and canceled dates, I guess. He was getting hard to book. They were under the impression that he was going to AEW, and I'm under the impression that he's very likely to go to AEW, and that is Chuck Taylor and Beretta. Another name to mention for AEW is, whether it's a done deal or close to, is Kaylee Ray. So that's a couple of more people. So you have Chuck Taylor and Beretta and Kaylee Ray. So we got 4 people today. AEW needs to have a good women's division, and Kaylee Ray choosing them over WWE is a big get. It was previously reported that she was talking to a few of the top companies. Are we back up? Yeah, okay, I just got the notification for it. We're back. Oh, man. I'm not sure what the hell happened there. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, I have no idea. But there is we're in I'm in negative degree weather up here, and there's actually been in the city next to me, there's been a lot of power outages, so I wouldn't doubt if shit like this would happen. I'm just saying, it happens like this. So, shit happens. But we want to get an episode out to you guys, so sorry for that little brief hiccup.
I have another name of signing. Bea Priestley. She's from Japan. She's a Japan wrestler. So Dave Meltzer had revealed on Wrestling Observer that she is. So that was probably the mystery woman that I was talking about the last episode that they were going to sign. So I know WWE has been after her for a while, but it looks like that she will be going to AEW.
Ooh. I've seen, I think, 1 or 2 of her matches, I want to say. She's actually not too bad. I didn't mind the one match I watched from her. It was really quick. It was like a highlight package. So that'd be a big sign. I mean, they're going to need to have a good, strong women's division as well. As much as they want to focus on tag team, their women's division is going to be needing a big boost. I know they are trying to eye Tessa Blanchard. So Tessa Blanchard would be a massive sign that gets fully announced.
I talked about that episodes ago, that I would love that. Love it. I love her. Love her. She's amazing. And the Purge is happening in my town. Anyway.
The Purge?
So it's something. Anyway, so keep going.
Sorry. The Purge is happening in my town. Anyways, yeah. So they do need to have a strong women's division going forward if they're going to definitely not be competition, but an alternative, especially with the tag team division being the main focus, and you can't sway away from. Sorry, I had a brain fart.
The Purge.
Purge, yeah. I think it's the Purge. It's like, what's going on over there?
The fire alarm that goes off.
Oh, okay. It's
I live in old school town or whatever like that they don't send things to beepers or anything like that. The damn alarm goes off. It's always something. Anyway, so what about so February 7th?
Is that that's the rally?
That's when the tickets are going to go on sale. So I think a bunch of big names are going to pop up on that day. More signings. More news probably of what's going to happen at Double or Nothing.
So we'll we'll try to get an episode before the 7th, leading up to it. Hopefully some updates and some rumors leading into that press conference. I think that's the main focus of the next episode. But as of right now, I don't have any more news for you guys. I don't know if Tiffany's got anything else.
No, that's pretty much it.
So,
I mean, if you guys want to call in, if you want to take calls, you can call the number below.
As you guys know, before too, like throughout the show, like for any like future shows, guys, if you want to call in whatever, we don't want to have a specific time for you guys to call in. You can call while we're in the middle of a news segment, like anything. Just call in whenever, because we don't have a set time for these calls because it's just going to be all over the place. So call in whenever, and you can join us through some of the newscasts, or if you want to quickly talk about something for 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll go back to it. So you don't always have to call in at the end of the show. You can call in whenever you want, and we'll take calls whenever. So
yeah, I dropped the number in the chat. Also, there was a question from Greg.
Oh.
On Twitter. Is the 3D through a table the best tag team move ever? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm going to say no.
Sorry,
I love the Magic Killer by Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I love that tag team finishing move, and I've seen them do it through a table before. So, but it's tough. I mean, he has a good point there. There's not a lot of well-known tag team moves through tables, so I guess for now, I don't know. Nothing comes to mind right now. So, interesting question, Greg. Interesting.
Let me see. Let me just make sure there's no other questions. I think that was it. I'm checking Facebook.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Other than that, then, I think we're probably going to wrap up the show. Like I said, guys, the next episode will feature a lot more. I'm going to try to get a lot more news and rumors for that press conference and a lot more towards that, or also some other news and rumors going towards AEW as well, packed in with that. What is so funny?
Kathy, I'm sorry. Don't mess with me.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Okay, I see what he typed there.
All right, I'm sorry.
Anyways, guys, make sure you are following us on Twitter and Facebook. The Twitter handle. Oh,
I'm sorry. Cupid Girl did. I remember she did message me the other day. She said that she had news about Lars Sullivan.
Oh.
What was it? I know, like, she can't call into the show, but if you want to, like, type it.
Does it
in the
relate
chat,
to AEW?
I think it has to.
If it relates to WWE, save for my other show. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean here. Got to keep it AEW related. It's AEW show. If it was said that he's going to AEW, sure. But we'll bring it up on the next show. I'm going to get through this exit intro here now. So, guys, like I said, like I was saying, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter at ElitePod. Facebook description will be down in the description below for you guys. Make sure you are following the network at No Holds Barred Network, NHB Network, on Twitter for all network updates. And make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel with the little bell icon on so you know when we're going to be going live every time for the show. We're going to be dropping shows out of left field, just like the Young Bucks are showing up whenever. So make sure you are following Twitter because we're going to tweet it first. And then make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Also, if you want to listen to us on the go, we are available on Spreaker, iTunes, and Stitcher Radio. Soon to be on Spotify. I'm closely working with that. So stay tuned for that. And all right, that, guys, thank you for tuning in to episode number 6 of the All Elite podcast. We are continuing to grow just like All Elite Wrestling. So thank you very much for your continued support of this show. Make sure you are sharing and liking and retweeting anything we post and getting people to follow the All Elite podcast on Twitter. I'm your host, as always, of the Elite Podcast, Kyle Masters, and the CEO of the No Holds Barred Network. I'm joined by my co-host, as always, the beautiful Tiffany, and loves to dream 82 on Twitter. See, I got it right this time. On Twitter as well. Guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for episode number 7.